Hello, welcome to the channel. This is Recreation Time. My name is Garrett Dunn. Started this channel with my longtime friend, roommate Cameron. This channel is going to be mostly about what we do in our spare time, our recreation time. This current video is going to be about investing, budgeting. If you like the video, let me know. If you don't like the video, let me know. There's going to be lots of different types of videos on this channel. It's not going to be one direction. There's going to be lots of different types of videos on this channel, from building, probably video games, just everyday stuff on what we like to do, projects, and one of the things that we like to do is work on investments. This particular video is going to be about dividend investing. So let's get right into it. Let's see. So I only just started investing in the stock market in March of 2020. So I'm relatively new to this. Most of what I'm just going to be going over is just my experience. So if you see anything that you pick up from it, let me know. If you have any advice, it's mostly what I'm searching for while doing this. I'm by no means an expert. I've only been doing it for a few months now, so I'm just going to go over how I'm going about it, a few of the stocks that I've picked, and how I'm trying to track what I've invested in and the dividends that I'm getting, because I've found it to be very confusing. Unlike some of the other YouTube channels that are out there, I don't have thousands and thousands of dollars to throw at this every month. Most of what I'm doing is just setting aside a couple $100 maybe a month, if I'm lucky, and putting that towards my portfolio. So the biggest thing that has helped me to even be able to do this, get to a point where I've been able to do this, is making a budget and tracking my spending month to month. So I created an Excel spreadsheet, just a basic sheet to track what I'm spending on what and where. For investing in the stock market, I use TD Ameritrade. I know there's lots of different apps out there. Most people use Robinhood, though I think a lot of people, after this last debacle with GameStop, they're probably going to be moving away from them. I've been pretty happy with TD Ameritrade. Researching the companies that you want to pick in, I think, is somewhat straightforward. My goal is to have somewhat of a high dividend return, because I don't want to just do this for nothing. I want to get something back out of it, but the companies that have consistent dividends year after year and consistently raise their dividends might not have the highest dividend return, but at least you know that they're going to be consistent. So that's also something that I look for. You can look those up on like dividends.com, nasdaq.com. You can look those up pretty much anywhere on Google. So after I got to a point where I was able to even start investing month to month, I created another spreadsheet for tracking what I was investing and how much I was getting back in returns. So I'll show you that spreadsheet. It might not be the cleanest setup in the world, so if someone else has a better Excel sheet to use, by all means share it, and love to see how you're going about tracking your portfolio and your dividends. The biggest thing is I'm not actually taking any of the dividends out of my account. I'm just reinvesting them, as everyone kind of advises. So just gonna glance over this quickly. This is just a basic budgeting spreadsheet that I made. Just threw some numbers in here so you kind of see how it works. I track the amount of money coming in for whatever and wherever here, and what I'm spending here. And then I try to break it out by categories. I have rent, health, electricity, toll cost or Uber, internet, groceries, and etc. I can go over this more in depth in another video if there's interest in this, but I have it broken out month by month, and then it just kind of gets summarized over here. So this is just an example of it. This isn't any of my actual stuff. So, but I can go over the idea of this spreadsheet more in depth. For TD Ameritrade, I started this Excel sheet. You can see everything that I put into the account in 2020, and then just starting for here in January. This is the total amount that I've invested, but it's not all necessarily in dividends. Some, if I just saw an opportunity that a stock was super low, like when the market took a dive at the beginning of 2020, I invested a bunch in like Spirit Airlines, and just not everything's just strictly in dividends in there right now. So here's where I have just potential stocks that I'm looking at. It's pretty easy through Excel. You can type in the ticker symbol, and it will give you pretty much any information that you want. So if I came over here, let's see, put that down here and typed in, let's see, it autofills for 3M in there. So and it tells you the industry, percent change in the market for the day, your highs and lows for 52-week high and low, the price current, and the price open for the market. Right now it's Sunday, so none of this is going to be active. This is done up here in the data column under stocks, so you can just go here and it'll fill everything out for you. Right now, as my portfolio sits all together, this is what I'm invested in. I have Coca-Cola, Spirit Airlines, AT&T, United States Oil Fund, Wells Fargo, MPLX, Realty Income, WP Carey, Global X, and Gladstone. Not all of these are, like I said, dividend stocks, but some of them are. This is just the entire portfolio together. So in this column you have the ticker symbol. I type in here the current quantity that I have of everything. This is after 7 months of investing that I've gotten to this, so it's by no means a large account, just steadily working this up. So hopefully at the end of this next year I'll have hopefully doubled this, if anything. So I type in here the dividend yield, just look that up online, the annual dividends and the dividend payout annually here is calculated. This next sheet is the actual dividend portfolio. Not everything on here I'm actually invested in quite yet. They're just potential stocks that I'm looking at investing in. The ones that I am invested in, you can see here in this column the actual quantity. This is tracked back to the portfolio. Everything's linked back to the one sheet. So you can see the current market value is just calculated based on the share price and the quantity. So altogether for the dividends, I have just over $2,800 for total dividends. My annual dividend return is right at $155 currently. I've tried to break everything out based on when the companies will actually pay out. So like Coca-Cola pays out in quarterly, and I broke it out based on the annual dividend dividing by 4 for these. Some of these, which are nice, are paid monthly, so you can get a little bit more return, or a little bit more frequent return, I guess I should say. And then I've summarized the actual months over here and linked them. If I'm not covering something completely, it just doesn't make sense, I can come back around to it in another video. But just averaging the months, right now I'm just under $1,300. Just averaging the months right now, I'm just under $13 a month return for dividends. So my first goal for dividends is to get $100 a month in returns. So definitely not there yet. I'm not gonna make like weekly videos on this, but might try to make one once a month or every other month, because it's not gonna be that fast of progress. I don't have that much money to throw at this to grow this account that quickly. I basically have the same sheet just here, where I can just mess with the quantities to see exactly how much money it would take if I spread it out to get $100 a month averaged out, or otherwise $1,200 a year. So I set up a quantity goal for the different stocks, and this is what that looks like. So here's the current quantity that I have, here's the goal, and once I've reached that, I've just highlighted it green, and I just won't until I hit the $100 a month goal. I just won't invest anymore in Coca-Cola. I'll just let it reinvest its own dividends, but I'll focus on, you know, AT&T or BP, Realty Income, until those hit their goals. But this spreadsheet works, or this particular sheet of the spreadsheet works exactly the same way. You can see, to accomplish this, I would have to have an overall market value of just over $16,000 invested in these particular dividends to get this return. Currently, I only have $2,800 invested, so I don't think I'm going to hit that even at the end of this next year. I don't know. I guess it really depends on how much I can save, but that's a lot of money to me personally. I know that there's a lot of people on YouTube that have that kind of money. They could probably accomplish that in, 2 months, 3 months, or whatever. But I personally can't do that. I'm not at that kind of financial state yet. So this is going to be probably a little bit more like your average investor out there. I would hope. I don't know. You guys can let me know if I'm just way behind, or some of you might be balling a little bit more out there with money that you can throw around. But if this is something more of what you'd like to see and keeping up with this, I'll probably do another video in a couple months just to see where it's at. But by no means do I expect this to hit that goal very quickly for the first goal. Once I get the $100 a month, my next goal would obviously be $200 a month. But don't want to set unreasonable expectations. I don't think that's an impossible thing to achieve, obviously. Otherwise, I wouldn't be even wanting to try and do it right now. So let me know what y'all think about this video. Let me know if you want to see more like this. I'm sure I'll have other things coming out. I'd like to do tons of building projects and things like that, so I'm going to start trying to film those and post them on here as well. But most importantly, if you have any advice to give me, I'm always open to it, because I'm still very much new at this. But thank you for watching the video. I hope you have a good day.